What's up, y'all? So, as you may know, Matthew Livelsberger was a 37-year-old U.S. Army vet and former Green Beret who carried out a suicide bombing attempt outside of the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, back on New Year's Day of this year. It's a crazy story, and it's getting crazier by the minute. He detonated explosives inside of a Tesla Cybertruck, which he had rented, and fatally shot himself. It resulted in seven bystanders sustaining minor injuries and Livelsberger himself dying, allegedly. So, in what Las Vegas police have been referring to as his manifesto, Livelsberger expressed grievances against the U.S. government, criticizing its leadership and expressing concerns about the nation's direction. He described his actions as a wake up call rather than an act of terrorism, aiming to highlight his perceived issues within the country. His manifesto reads like this. Quote, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until January 1 and keep my identity private until then. Now, before I keep going with this manifesto, I just want to let you all know as recently as a couple of hours ago, Las Vegas PD had a press conference where they indicated that this manifesto they believe is authentic because of evidence that they
In
found.
terms
I'm
of
assuming it
the
was a
manifesto that's
Littleberger's
circulating or
either
circulating
house or apartment,
online,
wherever it was, and I'm
we
assuming that it
have
was
strong
something
evidence
on
to
his
suggest
devices where
that
they were able to show he
the
actually
subject
wrote
wrote it.
this.
But
And as I go through it, he's going to use a bunch of terminology, which I'm not a military guy, so I have no clue what any of it means, but it sounds official. It sounds legit to me. So, I mean, whether it is or it's not, it's a scary proposition either way. If it's true, it's horrifying. If it's not, it's horrifying. It's really scary. The world has gone mad right now. Let's keep going with this thing because it's crazy. What we've been seeing with the drones is the operational use of gravatic propulsion systems powered by aircraft, most recently by China on the East Coast, but throughout history. And the US and China are the only two countries on the planet that have this capability. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it's just a show of force, and they are using it similarly to how they used the balloons, which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. So what? Well, what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned AC, they are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. The US government needs to give the history of this to us, the American people, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, and how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere on the East Coast. I've been followed myself personally for over a week, now likely from Homeland Security or the FBI, and they're looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but probably won't because they know I am armed and have a massive VBIED. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. I have knowledge of this program and also of war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan, back in 2019 by the administration, the DOD, the DEA, and the CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of CivCas that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. US FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes to scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them all disappear. I was a part of that cover up with US FORA and agent, name redacted, of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with GEN Miller's 10 staff on this as well as the response to Bala Murgrab. Don't know if I'm butchering that name. AOB S commander at the time, another redacted name, can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we can avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. For vetting purposes, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty 18Z out of 1-10. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP and USAP access. That's it, y'all. So that's That's a lot. It's a lot to digest. It really kind of freaks you out when you kind of start understanding what he's trying to say. But if we take into consideration the extreme chaos that has been deriving from the recent drone sightings, and if we also take Livelsberger's own government standing, can we assume that if this manifesto is proven to be authentic, it truly is a wake up call? The most damning part has to be the message that lies in this whole incident taking place outside of a Trump hotel inside of a car manufactured by Elon Musk. Authorities are investigating the incident, considering both Livelsberger's military background and the contents of his manifesto to understand his motives fully. The explosion caused minimal structural damage, partly due to the Cybertruck's design, which helped contain the blast. Look, y'all, this is a developing story. This thing is getting weirder and weirder every single day. We're going to be keeping a close eye on it as things develop. We're going to be updating y'all. Thanks. Catch you next time.